The Epsilon Academy prided itself on producing the galaxy's finest combat specialists. Its halls echoed with the boasts of warriors from 100 worlds, each one convinced of their superiority. But in the back row of advanced tactical combat, there sat a girl who never said a word. Her name was Kira Voss, and she came from Tartarus 9, a planet so hostile that survival to age 5 was considered an achievement. The registration office had flagged her file with 3 red warnings, but the Academy's diversity protocols demanded representation from all member worlds. So they let her in, expecting her to wash out within weeks. She didn't. Kira moved through the corridors like a shadow, her gray eyes constantly scanning, cataloging threats that existed only in her hypervigilant mind. While other students laughed and formed alliances, she sat alone in the cafeteria, eating her rations with mechanical efficiency. Her classmates whispered about her, the silent freak from the Deathworld, probably traumatized, definitely weird. Lieutenant Harrow, their combat instructor, had tried engaging her exactly once. "Cadet Voss, perhaps you'd like to share your thoughts on the Kelvin maneuver?" Kira had simply stared at him with those unsettling gray eyes until he moved on. The Academy's champion was Marcus Thorne, a 6'4" tower of bioengineered muscle from the core worlds. He'd won 17 consecutive sparring matches, each one ending in under 2 minutes. His technique was flawless, his augmented reflexes borderline superhuman. Scouts from the elite guard already had him marked for recruitment. "Pair up for combat assessment," Harrow announced one morning. "Cadet Thorne, you're with Cadet Voss." The class erupted in laughter. Marcus grinned, rolling his massive shoulders. "Try not to hurt her too badly," someone called out. Kira stood slowly, saying nothing. She walked to the sparring circle without expression, without fear, without anything readable on her face. Marcus followed, still grinning. "Look," he said, his voice patronizing, "I'll go easy on." The match timer began. Marcus moved first, a textbook opening strike designed to test his opponent's defenses. His fist cut through empty air. Kira had shifted exactly 3 inches to the left, the minimum distance required. No wasted energy. No unnecessary movement. He tried again, faster this time, a combination that had demolished his last 5 opponents. Kira flowed around each strike like water, her body reading trajectories that Marcus's conscious mind hadn't even planned yet. On Tartarus 9, hesitation meant death. Analysis was instinct. The grin faded from Marcus's face. He activated his augments, pushing his speed to inhuman levels. The watching students gasped as his hands became blurs. But Kira was already moving, her Deathworld reflexes, honed by years of dodging venomous predators and atmospheric lightning, making his enhanced speed look ponderous. Then she struck. It wasn't flashy. There were no spinning kicks or dramatic flourishes. Kira's hand moved in a precise arc, striking 3 pressure points in rapid succession: throat, solar plexus, knee. Marcus crumpled like a puppet with cut strings, gasping on the mat. The entire sequence had taken 4 seconds. Silence blanketed the training hall. Kira stood over the Academy's champion, her expression unchanged, her breathing barely elevated. She hadn't needed to speak. Her body had delivered the only message that mattered. Lieutenant Harrow cleared his throat. "Match to Cadet Voss." As Kira walked back to her position, Marcus struggled to his feet, shock and humiliation warring on his face. The other students parted before her like she was radioactive. For the first time since arriving at Epsilon Academy, Kira allowed herself the ghost of a smile. Words were a luxury on Tartarus 9. You learn to communicate in more fundamental languages, the language of survival, of efficiency, of violence so precise it became art. She'd spent weeks watching Marcus, studying his patterns, identifying the microscopic tells that preceded each movement. While everyone else had been talking, boasting, forming social hierarchies, she'd been doing what Deathworld children do best. She'd been hunting. The next day, there was an empty seat beside Kira in the cafeteria. Then another. Students who'd ignored her now watched with wary respect. She remained silent, eating her rations, her gray eyes still scanning for threats. But now, everyone understood. The Deathworld girl didn't need to speak in class. Her message was already perfectly clear.